Alright guys, we are back in my garage for another video, and today we are going to be taking a look at the MHD DME Unlocker tool. This tool is used to do a bench unlock on your DME from your home, on the road, basically anywhere. As long as you have the tool and your phone, you're going to be able to unlock your DME. Now just to get this out of the way, this does not replace the FEM2 unlock. This is not for DMEs that are after the June 2020 cutoff. But for people with cars built before that, like early G-Series cars that require a bench unlock, or even F-Series cars that might have had, a software update at the dealership that locked your DME, this tool is something that you can keep on hand so you're not stuck with, E85 or a big turbo or whatever, and a stock tune that you can't switch out of. So this is a really nice, convenient tool to give all the control you need at your house without having to ship your DME out, wait for downtime or anything like that. And I just kind of wanted to give it a try on my car. So yeah, I'll show you guys how it works, and hopefully you find this video useful.
Now, as always, for everybody that's new to the channel, I create these videos to help keep you updated on the latest developments in our community, as well as discuss technical topics so that we have a better understanding of how our engines work. So if you're interested in more videos like that, be sure to subscribe because there will be a lot more coming out in the future.
Now, if you guys have seen some of my previous videos, part of the motivation of getting my 340i was that it's a 2016 model year, so very unlikely that it was going to require a bench unlock. And sure enough, when I got the car, I did the MHD unlock check in their app, and you can see that it does not require a bench unlock. It was basically ready out of the box to flash and go. But we did want to try out the DME unlocker tool from MHD, and so that required locking the DME, which is not something I would typically do deliberately, but that's just kind of a part of the process to get this going. So I did a remote session with BimmerECU Solutions, and we flashed an updated software to the DME that effectively locked it. So at this point, I went back into the MHD app and double checked to see, and sure enough, using the unlock checker, you can see now it says that a bench unlock is required. So kind of nerve-wracking. I didn't even try to flash it because I know some people have issues when they try to flash when it requires a bench unlock, but that was basically my indication that I needed to go ahead and use the DME unlocker. So here's how that went.
So first of all, let's take a look at what comes in the box. So this is the new unlocker coming from MHD and BimmerECU Solutions. So go ahead and cut it open. Alright, and so the device is pretty simple. It looks pretty similar to Flex Fuel Kit. And then we've got our two plugs for the DME, and then we've got our power and ground. So pretty simple. Let's go ahead and connect it to the car. So the first thing we're going to do is pop off this cover to expose the DME, and then we're going to disconnect all 6 wires. So make sure you disconnect each one. You push this button in, lift it down, and then unplug. Don't worry, each plug can only go into one hole on the DME, so even if you don't necessarily remember where they went, you won't be able to mix them up when you're plugging them back in. Just unplug every single one. Alright, there we go. Now we're going to be plugging these two into the DME. So you need to get access to plug number 1, and back here you can see plug number 5. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 1 and 5. And again, these plugs can only go into one. So if you try to push it in, it should just slide in smooth. if it doesn't, then you know you're putting the wrong one in. So slide it in, give it a little tug to make sure it's in, and then this one plugs into here, but it's backwards. So plug that one in like that. And we've got the locker. Now to give it power, we're going to connect these two cables. So we're going to connect the positive to this terminal, and then the ground to the body.
Now, once you have everything connected, you should be able to see the lights light up. Sometimes they're flashing, sometimes they were solid, but in my testing, it worked either way. And then you're going to go ahead and connect directly to the MHD unlocker tool. If it asks you for a password, just use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that should allow you to connect to it. And then we're going to go back into the MHD app, and in the left-hand menu, you'll see an option for hardware, and click on that option, and then it should allow you to connect. If it doesn't let you connect, it says, like on mine, I didn't have licenses or whatever. I had the wrong account logged in initially, so make sure you're logged into the right account for the car that you're using that has the actual flash license. And then you're going to be able to unlock your DME. Just hit connect and then hit unlock, and it'll go through the process. It looks kind of similar to how, the screen looks when you're flashing your DME, but in this case, it's just simply unlocking it.
I forgot to mention two things here. So the first one is once you've completed the job, you're going to disconnect your Wi-Fi network from the bench unlock tool and switch over to your MHD Wi-Fi adapter in order to flash any tunes or change any settings. So just make sure that you do that before you try to change anything. The other thing to remember is after you disconnect your bench unlock tool from the DME and reconnect the factory harness, you need to double check all of your connectors before you start the car. Give each one a little bit of a tug and just make sure that it's fully seated and clipped in, because what will happen is your car either won't start, or when it does start, it's going to have a bunch of codes, and that's a clear indication that you didn't fully plug in one of the DME connectors. So just double check your work before you start the car.
Once that process was done, I went back into the MHD unlock check, and sometimes it says that it might not show it's unlocked because it can't always pick up a bench unlock. But in this case, you can see that it specifically says the car has been bench unlocked and is ready to flash. And at that point, I just went ahead and flashed an off-the-shelf map to see how it worked. Everything went through without an issue. The car started up, drove fine, ran fine, and was good to go. So yeah, I think this is a great tool to have, just keeping it handy, especially like I said, if you're ever going to be taking your car to a dealership where they could update the software without your knowledge. This just gives you the extra security so you know you can unlock your DME at any time. This also works on any car, so if you have multiple cars, you can unlock both of them. All you need is your license in order to unlock it and go. So hopefully you guys find this video useful. I'll have a link down in the description if you guys are interested in buying. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this video. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope this helps. And if you have any other questions or comments, leave them down below.